The incoming Liberal government says it's going to move as quickly as it can when it comes to cutting the HST from homeowners' power bills. But Susan Holt says the timing may depend on the Canada Revenue Agency.
Well, from what we understand, a CRA needs 120 days notice of a request to change something like that, and then has these quarterly windows when they can implement a change after having received the letter that the province of New Brunswick would submit. We're hoping we can talk to them about whether we can compress that timeline, because as you said, as it gets to winter, those bills are going up. People's January and February power bills are often the biggest ones they're going to get. So we're going to try to figure out if we can take the CRA process of a notification letter and a quarterly update and try and move it more quickly for New Brunswickers.
NB Power bills took a hike last spring. The utility has been asking to raise its residential rates by about 19% over 2 years. An interim increase went into effect back in April. Today, we asked New Brunswickers how they'll be affected by a tax cut to their power bills.
I'm totally for it. I'm retired, and I think it would be really good for retired people and people on limited income.
I actually think it doesn't impact us personally that much because we're very fortunate and that we're financially comfortable. But for people who aren't comfortable, I imagine it could be really important.
I think she's on the right track, but we got a few years to see if she's going to follow through with her promises.
Holt's tax cut affects all residential ratepayers equally. There is no additional measure for the lowest income families. Earlier today, we spoke to Audrey Gagnon with the Common Front for Social Justice. Audrey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What difference do you think a tax cut on the power bills would make?
Well, I think it's definitely a good start, but a lot of organizations have been advocating for some changes and some support programs towards power bills. For instance, Acorn NB has been requesting a support program that would reimburse about 30% of low-income families' power bills. So we do see discrepancy in the percentage there. So yeah, I'd say it's a good start. It would provide temporary relief for families that do struggle to get by and pay their basic needs at the moment. But we are hoping that it might become a little bit more generous in the future.
What do you hear from people who are trying to pay all their bills, including their electric bill?
Well, we know that households experience energy poverty as soon as they spend more than 6% of their income on power bills. So we, at the Common Front, we defend people of low income and people on social assistance. And we see that it's a major problem, especially with people on social assistance, because their income is well below the poverty line at the moment. So they're already struggling just to pay for food, pay for rent, and then power bills on top of that gets even worse during winter period.
The Energy and Utilities Board has yet to give its decision on whether April's interim rate hike will remain in effect and whether the rest of the increase will be granted next year.